Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 2021 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, I want to apologize for my voice. I am getting over the flu, so do bear with me. Now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Sagittarius be affected by the August 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle is our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have Temperance coming through. This is us, Sagittarius. Our energy is coming through, rooting us, moving us forward in power, and we have the High Priestess. This is going to be quite an eye-opening time. This is going to be a time where we connect with our intuitive power just really, really profoundly. So if you're looking to open up that part of your personality, or you're looking, well, personality, you're part of your soul self, if you're looking to strengthen that part of your soul self, this is going to be the time to do it. Also, the new moon is just going to be fantastic for it. The full moon also. So this is the time for blessings to come in. Let them come. This is a time to strengthen the balance of our intuitive and our practical self. So don't kind of shy back from it. It's going to be really cool. We have Judgment, the sleepers. The part of our personality that was stagnant, quiet, is now starting to awaken, and that's really that spiritual side of us. Then we have Capricorn coming through, the horned one, the devil card. If we are born on the cusp with Capricorn, this part of our personality is going to be shining through really quite profoundly. We're also going to see a light within the darkness starting to open up. We're also going to see chains of a poverty mentality really starting to be broken, and we're walking away from something we once thought we loved but no longer has a purpose or a worth into our lives. In our inner selves, we do have to be mindful of coping through addictions. So that could be the addiction of self-doubt and fear. It could be the addiction of drugs and alcohol. We just have to be mindful during this time that when we feel overwhelmed, we don't go to the thing that, has brought us escape. So that could be, drugs, alcohol, that could be food, whatever it is. It could be, over regimenting ourselves, or embracing almost kind of like a eating disorder or an eating disorder when it comes to food, to say, I feel overwhelmed, I'm going to regiment things so much that I make sure that I'm in control of every single calorie that I eat, every single thing that I do. We can also do this in over exercising. We just have to make sure during this time that we don't bring anything to the extremes, because we can have a tendency to. And there's so many blessings that this moon is offering us that we don't want to miss them, because we are having negative coping mechanisms come up in our lives. So do be mindful of that. It moves us to the Three of Wands, new horizons. It's not saying that this will happen. It's just saying to be mindful of it during this time. Three of Wands, new horizons coming forward. We seek an adventure, brings us to the Ten of Cups, and they all live happily ever after. Beauty, success, prosperity. The Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The next full moon on the 20th of September is in Pisces, so we have a very strong connection with that. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. As we embrace what is balancing us within this world, as we embrace our own spiritual understanding in the public arena, we also have to be mindful of everything that we're balancing, because we're forgetting to balance ourselves. And it's going to be intrinsically important to say, I balance me, I show up for me. Now the energy, let's start. I'm jumping ahead because I'm so excited for you, Sagittarius, because this really does look quite spectacular. I know that some of you are looking over here and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely screwed. You're not. You're not at all. And I want to make that perfectly clear. Spirit is just saying that during this time, because all the blessings are coming in, that we can self-sabotage. And we have to make sure and be mindful of this so that we don't. We let the blessings come. The full moon in Aquarius is just an extraordinary moon. It happens on the 22nd of August. The full moon always tells us to surrender to the divine. That's where our power is. It brings us face to face with conflict of desires. So our wants versus our needs, the wants of everybody versus the wants of ourselves, the needs of everybody versus the needs of ourselves, home and work, home and school, wherever the conflicts arise, that's where we're going to be facing them. This also increases our intuitive and emotional understanding. So the full moon always increases our intuitive and emotional understanding. It brings us to the full moon in Aquarius, which says, show the world the real you. It is time, Sagittarius, to let the spectacular being that you are shine through. This full moon is going to be conjunct Jupiter, which brings optimism, generosity, good luck, and success, which is beautiful. I mean, who doesn't want these things on their side? This will bring opportunities for personal growth, spiritual growth, material growth. Take them. Take all the opportunities that are coming your way. Make sure you balance yourself, that you aren't taking all the opportunities that come your way to the point of exhaustion. So that is going to be important for you, Sagittarius, on a personal level. There will be a feeling of happiness and contentment. Ride it. Let yourself ride this feeling of happiness and contentment, but just be mindful that with the sun being opposite Jupiter, this can be a time of over-optimism and over-optimism, there we go, and arrogance. So we have to just be mindful of the fact that we might be kind of overshooting things, and also thinking everything's going to work out great, everything has been working out great, and we become over-optimistic. So having our feet planted on the ground is going to be important. This is a perfect time for strengthening our relationships, finding love. We have to remember during this time to be thankful and to take account and to write down our blessings. That's going to be so important for us, Sagittarius. With Venus trine Uranus, this is an ideal time for finding love and commitment. We also see that with the full moon being conjunct Jupiter. This is the time for love to come forward. Our relationships with Venus trine Saturn, Venus trine Saturn is an ideal time for finding love and connection. Relationships benefit from a sensible approach and a steady affection. So this is going to be a time where we really start to embrace the way that we show love, but we also have to be mindful that others might show love differently. So we might be very affectionate, kind of more touchy-feely, and our partner or people that we are, that we love, that not are in love with, but people that we love, people who are really, maybe in love with, but not in a romantic sense, that they might show their love differently. So just be mindful of that. New romances can blossom during this time in the most unexpected way, so keep an open mind. You could find your soulmate. I mean, you can really find that person that you just absolutely connect with, but you can also start to align yourself with the vibrational energy of finding that soulmate, of calling forward the love that you want in your life, but also calling forward that soulmate connection in how you embrace your life, how you move forward, where you just feel in alignment with yourself. Existing love, for people with existing loves, people who are already in relationships, this is a time for new closeness and greater connection. So this is a time to become even closer to our partners. This is a time to connect with them. This is also a time where I remember reading in this one study that it said we need to connect with those that we love for 90 minutes a week. And that doesn't seem like a really big period of time, but if it's always like ships in the night, our schedules don't match up, or I'm exhausted and you're exhausted, we might not have that time to connect. Or we come home, we plop down on the couch in front of the TV, and we just kind of veg out. This is a time where we need to make that effort, where we need to sit down with a cup of tea, a glass of wine, whatever, floats your boat, and start talking to our partners. Ask about their day, ask about, how they are, and make sure that you're just not forgotten in that. When you ask about somebody's day, that they don't start rambling off their day and just completely forget about you. So do be mindful of that too, because this give and take is going to be so important during this time. Mars is going to be trine Uranus, which brings initiative, excitement, and adventure. We need adventure. We also need to feel free. So this is going to be a time where we need to take an adventure. It could be a physical adventure. It could be a mental adventure. We could find an adventure in the pages of a book or a movie. We can also find an adventure, through embracing new kind of work ideas or new projects that we want to take on, and learning new softwares, learning new things to open up this door. There's going to be strong instincts and desires during this time. So this is the perfect moon for risk taking. Just don't be foolish with the risks that you take. So that's a warning. There will be this increase of passion in your relationships, but also in your life. So embrace it. Embrace the passion that is coming forward. Let yourself run with it. Now, with the new moon on the 7th of September always brings us to this place of new beginnings, new discoveries. A new start is coming. It brings us to the new moon in Virgo. And this says, a time to give rather than to take. And we might see that as a scolding. It's not. It's a time to give of our creative energy. It's a time to give of our power of understanding. It's a time to give of the blessings that are a part of us, rather than just simply taking and taking and taking. This is an exciting new moon. The new moon is trine Uranus, which is extremely powerful. It brings rapid and positive change into our lives. It makes us feel like anything is possible. So this is a time where we can ride the high of the full moon in Aquarius in a really fantastic way. It's also telling us to step out of our comfort zone. It brings us on new adventures, new innovations. This is the time that, again, if we want to embrace a new project, if we want to embrace that creative endeavor, this is the time to do it. This is the time to connect. Step out of your comfort zone and go for it. This is the perfect time to widen social circles, but also what's really cool about this new moon is that with the harmonizing aspect of Uranus, this enhances our intuition and brings us these flashes of insight. So if you're looking to increase your intuitive abilities, if you're looking to increase your psychic abilities, this is the time to go for it. This is the time to start, kind of dabbling with the tarot. This is the time to start throwing the runes. This is the time to start connecting with divinity and seeing where it gets you. This is also because we have this fantastic awakening of intuition and instincts. This is a fantastic time for self-discovery and creative breakthroughs. This is the time that it's like those problems that have been stumping us, those things that have been holding us back, we start to see solutions. We start to see our own gifts shining forward. This moon makes our gifts shine. It's almost as if the darkness of the new moon makes ourselves shine with that light of the moon, with the light of the moon that isn't in the sky. It brings us to the full moon in Pisces, which says balance spirituality with practicality, with all these blessings that are coming forward, with all this sense of go and do and create and explore. This is the time to balance ourselves, to embrace the harmonizing aspect of ourselves, and really move us forward. And that's going to be on the 20th of September, where the individual more than everything that we can do, everything that we can accomplish, but the individual of who we are starts to become intrinsically important to us, or gains a new level of importance. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Princess of Pentacles. We have to be mindful of people who are princesses with money. These are going to be people who just feel entitled. This could be the con artist who just feels entitled to rob you of your money. This can be the person who has these great ideas. They just need you to back them up. This can be the person who just needs you to loan them, $5 here, $5 there. You have to be mindful of this during this time, Sagittarius. It's going to be so imperatively important to being able to embrace your success. This is also saying, be a student of your money, but don't be always counting every single penny all the time, because that's going to take you away from your bigger goal. The not subconscious. Let's see our chakra energy for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show us clearly. And this is divine wisdom. So Sagittarius, this is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above the crown. This is the time for the divine wisdom to lead us forward, to inspire us, to open up the door, and to start going after things. We're going to find that we know things. We know things, we see things, we are inspired by things, we are moved by things. This is going to be the time that we need to embrace that intuitive power, that psychic awakening. It moves us to the temperance, to the balance of who we innately are, because that power is coming forward. Temperance is leading us. This is a sense of transforming. This is transforming through balance, through patience, through greater understanding. That's why she's pouring the tea into the teacup. So the tea goes in, the water goes in, and it's just boiling water. And then we have it sit with the herbs, sit with the tea leaves, and we have it become tea. This is going to be a time that we transform through the balancing of who we are, through the harmonizing, through the waiting, through the patience, through the discovery. And it leads us to the high priestess. What we are discovering, what we are balancing, is the veil being lifted from our eyes, is the fact that I'm not going to deal in lies anymore. I'm not going to pretend anymore. I'm going to embrace the world as I see it, the way the world is presenting itself to myself. I'm lifting the veil from my eyes, and I am seeing me openly and honestly. I'm also seeing the people around me openly and honestly, which is a game changer, which pushes me forward in a direction that I might never knew that I wanted to go, which has me seeing people that I might have really admired more in a light of being a human being. So as we embrace this, we say to ourselves, wow, I didn't see this before. Wow, this is something that is striking me anew. This is something that's moving me forward in a way that, I didn't imagine. And the high priestess is this beautiful being that connects quietly with the instinctual, psychic, inspirational aspects of ourselves and says, see it. The moon is now laying at our feet. The moon is illuminating our path. Let it illuminate. Let it call to you, because it's bringing you on this direction in this way where the moon is lighting your way as you're walking away from what you once thought you would love. As the insight comes, as the understanding comes, as the balancing of the self comes. Excuse me. What we see is that what we once thought was intrinsically important, what we once thought, wow, if I make it to here, then I will finally be happy. I'll never want anything else. We're like, no. There is something more for me. There is a way that I'm moving forward that is powerful and beautiful and personal and intense and just absolutely everything that I need. I'm opening up the door. I'm embracing who I am. And it's by walking away from the old. This doesn't mean that we're giving up on something, though sometimes it could feel that way. But we should know when to quit, when to say, enough is enough, this isn't right for me. It's kind of like wearing a pair of shoes that is too small or too big. They're going to hurt your feet, and they're not going to be right for you. So let them go. This is what we're seeing here. Let go what doesn't fit and be able to move forward in the light of illumination to what does. It moves us to the 5 of Pentacles. It moves us to a poverty mentality that has us out in the cold. Now, this could be our childhood. This could be growing up, always being worried about money. This could be having a partner, when we fell in love with somebody who always was worried about money, who could have stolen from us, who could have, always said, oh, could you, just lend me money here and help me out there. And they never repaid it. They never gave us a thank you. So here or the Five of Pentacles, wherever it comes from poverty mentality, this is going to be what we are facing, and this is going to be what we're walking away from. And in the cold, we are forging a new path, a new way forward. We are embracing that there is a place of comfort that we can go to. There is a place of greater understanding and desire. And I just looked at her shawl, and I have kind of a shawl like that. Well, this is more like a cloak, but there's this sense of what I have gets to warm me, gets to protect me against doubts and fears and chaos and hurts and pains. And I'm not the person who walks in rags anymore. I'm not the person who is the beggar. And we're going to be looking at mentalities that we have within ourselves that perpetuate a pauper mentality, that perpetuate, I'm not wealthy. I don't get to have wealth in my life. I don't get to call forward, bounty and, and beauty. And what I'm seeing here is I just ordered bulletproof coffee, which I don't know if you guys have ever tried it. It's pricey. And I thought, oh my goodness, but I'm really trying to eat very, very well for my body. And coffee is something I really love, but it does not love me at all. So I've not drunk coffee for quite some time. And I heard of this bulletproof coffee that you're supposed to be able to drink. And why Spirit is having me share this story is because I was raised in a house that was always worried about money. There was never enough. There were 6 kids. My parents got divorced. It was always a struggle. And I bought this coffee, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, it's so special. I can't believe I bought it because it was expensive. It's not really that expensive. It's not made of gold. It might be like, I don't know how much it is, like $13, $15. But still, for a bag of coffee, when you can get a big tub of it at Costco, I was like, oh my goodness, this is just so much. And I remember thinking, just today when I made that cup of coffee, like, don't you dare waste it. Make sure you drink it, you use it, and make sure that it's good and that you respect the coffee. Not that I respect myself, but that I respect the coffee. And that comes from the poverty mentality. I have to respect something that I see as valuable, but not seeing myself as valuable. And so this is a time where we need to break those chains. And it's caused by the devil energy coming in. It's caused by not seeing the light within the darkness, not seeing our own worth, not seeing our own prosperity. I mean, this isn't to say to be frivolous, but this is to say that you're worth it. And don't think yourself not, because that little thought of, oh, I'm not worth it, when it comes forward, and we have it so often because it's programmed into us. When even we have good things coming, it's like, okay, well, the shoe is going to drop. I'm not going to get to be successful. I'm not going to get to be the person that I want to be. And we have all these insecurities that, again, were ingrained in us because, I was a bit blind and deaf as a child. People in my family some people couldn't really accept that because it wasn't being perfect. And it just brings these insecurities forward. And this is a time where we say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm not living for you. I'm living for me. And I use these personal examples because Spirit is saying to share it because it's painful to share it, but because it needs to be something that I don't see as painful, but also because it needs to let us know that we're not alone. We're not alone in the struggle of becoming. We're not alone in the sense of I'm opening up the door for me and embracing this pathway forward. And it has us seeing that light within the darkness. It has us knowing that Spirit is on our side, guarding us. This isn't the big bad scary anymore. This is us as grown adults taking control of our lives, moving forward in understanding and in wisdom and in saying, but this is me. And I don't get to be controlled by the pain of the past anymore. I get to be stepping into the power of my present, understanding that I'm worth it. And it brings us to the sleepers. It brings us to that part of ourselves, the judgment that was asleep or that judged ourselves too harshly or that was cruel to ourselves. And now we are awakening to be the warrior that we need to be for the success that we want within our lives, for opening up the door and saying, but this is me. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is who I am. And as I do this, I embrace what I desire from life, who I want to be, and what it is that I discover. No longer am I the pauper on the outside. I am the victor coming forward and changing my life. And that's it. We hear the call. It's time to answer it. It brings us to the Three of Wands. It brings us to our hearts knowing that there are new horizons out there. Our hearts knowing that there's a new way forward. And as we embrace that new way forward, that new prosperity, that new bounty, we embrace this beautiful part of ourselves the ships coming in, the ships going out. I am not denying myself anymore. I am not locking myself away. This is a time where I get to embrace who I am and what I desire. And it brings us to the 10 of Cups. It brings us to a place of love, of harmony, of insight. This is the happily ever after. The heart wants the happily ever after through embracing new horizons and new desires. Why is it that people who rob, cheat, and steal get to say, I have a happy life? Get to say, I earned all of this when they didn't earn any of it. And for those of us who work for it, those of us who, put our blood, sweat, and tears into something, say, I'm not worthy of it. This is the time to say, I'm opening up the door and I'm accepting it. This moon brings us so many blessings. This new moon brings us so many blessings that we get to call it forward. We get to call it in. This gets to inspire us. This gets to change us. This gets to lead us in a way that we're not expecting. It starts to bring us to our happiness. And our happiness doesn't have to look like everybody else's happiness. It gets to look like what I desire from life, of what I want. Just like everybody doesn't express love the same way. We might have this word happiness to describe happiness, but your happiness and my happiness will be different. And so we get to say, I'm embracing the horizon towards my joy. And it brings us to being a student in the public arena of our hearts, of saying, what does my heart want? What does my heart want? What does my heart need? What is my heart discovering? What is it that my soul really, really wants? How is it that I'm opening up the door? And it brings us to the 2 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Pentacles says, do not be balancing everything else and forget to balance yourself. It is an eternity. Life is an eternity of balancing. And balancing our wealth, balancing our inner desires, balancing what everybody wants from us and what we want from us. Now we get to balance ourselves and realize that we count and we matter. We become students of our hearts in the public arena. And if we say, I'm listening to my heart, I'm listening to my soul, I'm listening to the way emotionally I'm opening up the door, that balance within me, that transformation, that fact that the veil is lifted and I see things more clearly, how is my heart telling me to move forward? And how is my heart guiding me towards success? Now let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. At our root, emotions run high. Yeah, because so much is being revealed to us that emotions can't help but run high. Fruition. What we emotionally focus on is brought to fruition. Also, the insights that we are getting from the High Priestess, the fact that the moon is at our feet, brings to fruition so much, lights a path that we thought was denied to us. You are close to achieving your goals. Trust. Trust that you are close to achieving your goals, Sagittarius, to embracing who you are and what you want. It leads us to confidence is your key to success, self-love. That's it. Confidence is your key to success. Hold your head up high. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. We have to understand that during this time. But embracing our confidence and loving ourselves, knowing that we are worth it, that's everything. It moves us to our subconscious, not subconscious, but our lunar inner self. Time to breathe out. It's time to release all the stress that we have been carrying. That's what Spirit said with the 2 of Pentacles, with embracing and being a student of our hearts, the void. The new moon guides us. The space in between guides us from full moon to new moon to full moon again. It's not necessarily what is said. It is the spaces in between that hold so much power and so much meaning for us. Our subconscious Luna message. The energy is gaining momentum. Will you follow it? Is your will strong enough to embrace it? The energy is gaining momentum. Do you have the will for it? Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Death card, Scorpio energy. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, we can be having this conflict of self through what we share and what we don't share. Scorpio energy when it comes to other people, when it comes in the negative sense, is sneakiness and work done in the shadows. So we just have to be mindful of people being sneaky, of not telling us the full truth, of understanding that there will be people in our lives who are not giving us the full story, and we're running on like half information, if not less, when it comes to them. The chakra, the subconscious chakra energy, is trust. Trust that you are balancing the scales. Trust that, no, it's not trust, it's truth. That's why I kept looking at it. I was like, that's not right. It's truth. It's truth that balances the scales. It's truth that guides us forward. It's truth that gives us insight. And so here, we're going to see that balance guiding us. But with the throat chakra, we have to trust in our truth, in the way that we see things, in the way that we're embracing our world, in what we're committing to and what we're not. So do be mindful of that. Our subconscious rooted energy is the Emperor. As we find the balance within ourselves, as the veil is lifted from our eyes, claim your throne. Claim your power. Do not let others seize it from you, Sagittarius. It moves us then to our subconscious inner self, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient with the blessings that are coming. Be patient with what is growing, with what is being developed. Remember the beautiful statement of Rome wasn't built in a day, and my goodness, it didn't fall in a day. So we have to be patient with everything that is coming forward and everything that is guiding us. And also be patient with the intuitive power that is leading us forward during this time. Our way to understand it, the language of it, the symbolic, guidance of it. It leads us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Four of Cups. A gift is coming our way that does not feel like a gift, but it opens up doors so profoundly. It is something that we would usually turn away from. We say, oh no, this is sparkly and pretty. I want this. This is more plain Jane kind of thing. I don't think so. But we're going to see that the thing that we think is plain actually winds up being the most beautiful thing ever, winds up guiding us. And this could also be something where we think, oh my gosh, it's new stress, it's new hurts, it's new pains, like it's new things that are leading me forward. It could be like, having a child. It could be, I know I'm going to say, adopting a puppy. They're not the same thing in realms of responsibility, but they can both be, super, super, super frustrating. One with the child a little bit more so than others because your whole life is changing. But it's like something that we absolutely want that brings us to a different level of understanding. And we think, oh, I don't want that level of understanding. I want my old shiny level of understanding. But this is going to be so important. And if it's not, having a child or anything like that, it is getting out of our comfort zone. It is, opening up the door, just studying to learn that program, to learn that thing that we need to enhance our lives and enhance ourselves. But that is hard and it is a struggle. And all of a sudden, as we embrace that struggle emotionally and personally, we start to see the doors open. And then subconscious public arena self is the Two of Swords. There's a path forward that is leading us in a direction we didn't think we needed to be led in. We didn't think we could be led in. It's like we always thought it would be A or it would be B, and now we're starting to see the beauty of the in-between, the beauty of so much more than we had ever realized before. And we're starting to take a path we might not even have known was an option for us. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the blessings that this moon has to offer. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it is comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius, and may you have a blessed moon.